Hello everyone and welcome back to Covetous Imp Gaming. Today was a great day. We got our first look at the Project Black Flag playtest packet number 1. This update featured a short 12-page rules update, the most of which was based on character creation, and the first few pages simply covered what it means to be a game master, what it means to be a player character, different kinds of dice and things like that. Very basic general rules for playing a tabletop role-playing game. Under the section of other things you'll need to play, they did make mention of 2 other books, one being a Game Master Guide and the other one being a Monster Vault. Meaning that in addition to this book, when it's finished, we will be getting other books that are meant for a Game Master and specifically releasing Kobold Press's core monsters. They cover the ability scores of Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. Those have all stayed the same, as well as the ability modifiers going from -5 to +5 from 1 to 20. All that stuff has stayed the same compared to 5e for now. I think that you'll start to see some of that stuff change in later playtesting packets. And then they go on to cover things like point buy and standard array as character creation options, as well as my second favorite random option, which is 4d6, drop the lowest die 6 times. We then got to see things like lineage and heritage. Lineage being basically your character's race, and heritage is their sub-race. They focused on the 3 core fantasy world races, being elf, dwarf, and human. So for our 2 dwarf heritages, we had the Fireforged and the Stone. So your Fireforged are these dwarves that live in volcanoes and are constantly swinging on an anvil and things and making things and creating and being in the fire, basically. And your Stone dwarves are more of the dig into the earth itself, and as they dig, they are encountering those beautiful precious metals that everybody wants, but at the same time encountering those monsters that are deep within our worlds. Next we had the elves. The cloud elves are your magic affinity elves, where the grove elves are more attuned to nature. And finally, with the humans, you have the nomadic heritage, and these are your people that live out in the world. And you have the cosmopolitan heritage, and these are your city folk. And all of these things felt very fresh. Yes, they're rewritten and recreated versions of things that we have, but I think that focusing on these races, these original core races of high fantasy, and recreating them with new and interesting abilities and traits and features, it makes them feel new and fresh. And you're going to start to see people maybe get back to those core races in their play and kind of step away from your, the more, new meta kinds of races that people like to play now. So we closed out with a couple backgrounds that would get your players started, and talents, which are basically reworked features, and they're basically split in half to you can cast spells or you're more of a martial fighter. And I think that's a good thing for now, but I think as they start to release their character classes and you start to get into your rangers and your paladins, where they have the ability to cast spells, but they're still a martial or physical fighter, you're going to see some of these things may feel overpowered. And again, that's why testing is great. That's about it for this update. Like I said, this was a very short 12-page rules update, and a lot of it was that repetition, like what this dice does, what this dice does, things like that, how to add your modifiers to dice. But it was an update nonetheless, and I think that if anybody can really recreate where we started from and where we're going, it's Kobold Press with Project Black Flag. If you like this video, please hit the like button, leave us a comment below about how you feel about Project Black Flag, Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're alerted to our future content. And check us out on Facebook and Patreon. Those links are down below, as well as the link to the Project Black Flag page. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you soon.